I needed 10 hours a week to get into this training program. And so she was actually a friend. Her name's Sue, right? She was actually a friend, and I said, listen, I need to work with people 10 hours a week. Would you be willing to work with me on this? I want to teach this stuff to you. And she's like, sure. But the first week, she argued with me, like your friend did. She was just like, oh, this is just like this thing, and it's just like that thing, and this has nothing. But she was willing because she was my friend. So what she told me about was that she loves her job. She works with special children, but her boss stresses her out. Her boss makes these faces of disapproval to her, and she's just always coming down on her and saying that she's doing it wrong or this or that. And that was like the bane of her existence at work. So we're talking more and more about this understanding how you are always, with no exception, living in the feeling of your thinking. You're not living in the feeling of the world. Now, I say that often to my kids, and they really want to kill me for saying it, but it's really true. And as you look into this direction, you see it more and more. I mean, even cancer. I'm always, even if I was on my deathbed, I'm always living in the feeling of my thinking. The emotional suffering is my thinking going haywire. The circumstance outside does not cause you to feel bad. Your thinking is causing you to feel bad. And I'm pointing her into these different directions based on what happened in my experience. One day she comes back to me and she said, oh my gosh, I was at work and I looked at my boss and she made those horrible faces like she hates me and I'm doing it wrong. And I just had this experience where I looked her right in the eye and I turned around and I took care of the kids. And there was not thought involved, there was not strategy involved. It was this place that you're talking about, that you referred to as knowing you're going to be okay. It was the place before thought, that just, the place that's always been there, that just allowed her snow globe of thought settle down, and then she was able to act from this wisdom that we all have. Now she could have done anything. Maybe you could say, oh, well, she turned her back on her boss. That's wrong. When you are operating in your moments from that place, there's not a prescription or a way that you then behave. You might yell at someone. I might yell at one of my kids. I might make him do something. I don't know. There's not the way to do it. There's no dogma. This is so simple. It's crazy. It's always there. It's always been there. And then as you understand it more and more, you look back in the moments of your life where you're like, oh, this is a framework for how life works. This is why it's so crazy and so simple and so like it needs to be practiced. Like I need to do something to make this happen. You don't, because it's there already. It was there before you even thought about it. That's the beginning. It's like you see there's something here, right? You hear something in what I'm saying, right? That's how I was. I heard something. Now what do I do to make this happen, right? But I am telling you, you don't have to really do so much as you have to allow your thinking to settle down and just watch. And as you look in this direction, you read books, you can look online, there's all kinds of people talking about, you could work with me. There's lots of people doing this, so it's not just me. Something happens. It was like I told Sue about this, and I said, oh look, there's a roller coaster over there. And she took a ride. It was her innate wisdom. It was something that was there. She didn't really do it. Like we think everything out there is like, okay, let's go meditate to get to that quiet place. But see, that quiet place was never not there. We just put stuff on top of it, thinking. That's the freedom in it. And I've experienced that a lot too, even with myself. Like, this has been so freeing to me because I'll be driving my car and I'll just quiet down, and I'm driving and I feel this joy. Now, why should I be happy? I have freaking stage 4 cancer. There's really nothing to be happy about. But I quiet down and then that joy just wells up. I mean, that's what those people are looking for. That's what I've been looking for all my life. But I love the way you said it, like it's like a prison. It's like everything that you think you're doing to get to that place. Like you got to do that or you're not going to feel that way. But as you look in this direction, what happens is you don't really have to do any of that. It was there, it was always there. It's in each and every one of us. There's nothing you have to do to get there. What you maybe could see is back to the snow globe. Thank you, Michael Neal. As you settle down, that comes. So it's not even so much a do anything. There's a guy that wrote about this, the 3 principles, and his book is entitled Do Nothing. And isn't it funny? We're looking for this thing and we're thinking we have to do something, and that would become a prison.